Dark psychology is often seen as something negative or dangerous, but in reality, it's simply the hidden science of influence and manipulation that people use every single day, sometimes without you even realizing it. And as a woman, you need to understand these tricks before it's too late because they are being used against you at work, in relationships, and even in casual conversations, leaving you feeling drained, unheard, or controlled. The truth is that knowledge of dark psychology is not about becoming manipulative yourself, but about recognizing the signs, protecting your energy, and using influence in a way that keeps you respected and in control. One of the first tricks every woman should learn to spot is gaslighting, where someone twists the facts and makes you question your own memory or feelings. For example, when a partner says you're too sensitive or imagining things, even though you clearly notice the problem. And this is done to make you doubt yourself until you start believing their version of reality. Another common tactic is love bombing, where someone showers you with affection, compliments, and gifts in the beginning, making you feel special and chosen. But over time, it turns into control as they slowly isolate you from friends or make you feel guilty if you don't return the same level of attention. You must also be aware of guilt tripping, which happens when people make you feel selfish for setting boundaries. For example, when a family member says, "After all I've done for you, this is how you repay me." The purpose is to control your decisions by making you feel like you owe them something, when in fact your boundaries are completely valid. At work, women often face subtle manipulation like flattery combined with pressure. When a boss or colleague says, "You're the only one smart enough to handle this," right before asking you to do extra work, or scarcity tactics in sales and negotiations like "this offer is only valid right now," which force you to rush decisions. Then there is silent treatment, a favorite tool of manipulators in relationships, where the other person ignores you, shuts down, and withholds affection so that you become anxious and start chasing after their approval even if you did nothing wrong. But you must train yourself not to run after silence, because that's exactly what gives them power. Strategic triangulation is another trick, where they bring a third person into the conflict, saying things like, "Even your friend agrees with me," to make you feel outnumbered and insecure. But once you see this pattern, you'll know not to get trapped in drama created by outsiders. Women should also recognize future faking, which is when someone makes big promises like marriage, travel, or career support just to get what they want in the present. But when the time comes, they always find excuses and never deliver, leaving you stuck with false hope. Understanding these manipulative strategies allows you to flip the script, for example by using calm, assertive boundaries, strategic silence, and confident body language that communicates strength without aggression. Dark psychology also teaches that silence can be one of your most powerful tools, because when you stop explaining yourself unnecessarily and give people space to fill the silence, they often reveal more than they intended, while you remain in control. Reading people is another key skill. Women already have strong intuition, but by sharpening it with awareness of body language, micro-expressions, and voice changes, you can detect lies or hesitation instantly, such as when someone says they are confident but avoids eye contact, or when their smile fades quickly after a question. This ability to see through people gives you an edge in relationships, jobs, and negotiations because you are no longer blind to hidden motives. The most important mindset shift is to develop what I call dark confidence, which means staying emotionally calm and collected even when someone tries to provoke you, using guilt, anger, or passive aggression. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, observe, and respond with clarity, which makes the other person lose control because they cannot manipulate someone who refuses to play their game. Think about powerful women in history and leadership. Today, they rarely shout or act aggressively, but their presence, confidence, and strategic use of psychology make people respect them automatically. When you learn to apply these principles, your entire life changes. You stop second-guessing yourself, you stop falling for empty promises, and you begin to influence others naturally through confidence and clear boundaries. Remember, these dark psychology tricks are not meant to make you manipulative. They are meant to protect you from people who already use these tactics against you, and to give you back the upper hand so you can navigate your career, relationships, and personal life with strength and control. Start today by observing conversations more closely, practicing saying no without guilt, and using silence strategically instead of rushing to explain yourself. Notice who tries to guilt trip you, who flatters you right before asking for something, and who constantly shifts blame or makes excuses. The more you practice seeing these patterns, the more empowered you will feel, and soon you'll realize that no one can play these games on you anymore. Knowledge is power, and as a woman, mastering these dark psychology techniques will allow you to create a life where you are respected, confident, and always in